Here are the 5 things BMW M2 owners wish they knew before they signed. And none of them are about how the car drives, because the car drives beautifully. The regret is arithmetic. The average enthusiast-driven M2 burns through a set of rear tires in 8 to 15,000 miles. And that's before you get to the engine bill that S55 owners quietly schedule between 40 and 60,000 miles. Stick around, because number 5 is the one that empties wallets fastest, and the yearly number nobody says out loud lands in about 3 minutes. Regret number 1. The purchase price is just the entry fee. A 2016 to 2018 N55 M2, 365 horsepower, trades between $38,000 and $48,000. A 2019 to 2021 competition, S55, 405 horsepower, runs 50 to 65. The 2020 CS, 444 horsepower, carbon roof, roughly 2,200 US cars, is 80 to 100 grand and climbing. And the new G87 with the S58 and 453 horsepower starts around 63,000 and sales past 70 the second you touch the options sheet. Those numbers people plan for. What they don't plan for is insurance. Insurers do not see a small BMW coupe. They see a high-performance sports car. Drivers in their 20s and early 30s report $2,500 to $5,000 a year. Clean record, mid-40s, boring commute. Still $1,200 to $2,000, materially more than the same person pays on a 330i. Get a real quote with the VIN before you put a deposit down, not after. I have watched people negotiate $800 off a car and then eat a $2,000 insurance surprise. So, here's the number nobody says out loud. Budget $2,500 to $4,000 a year, every year, just to keep an M2 right. That's insurance, tires, brakes, and routine service before a single repair. Front pads and rotors on a car driven with enthusiasm go every 20 to 25,000 miles. OEM rotors are $250 to $400 each, pads $120 to $200 an axle, and a dealer front brake job lands at $700 to $1,200. Oil changes with correct BMW spec oil are $150 to $250 at a good independent. That's the floor, not the ceiling. Regret number 2, and this is where the two engines split. The N55 in the base car is the calmer one. Single turbo, shared with half the BMW lineup, long production history. Its issues are predictable. Carbon buildup on the intake valves needing a walnut blast somewhere between 60 and 100,000 miles for $300 to $600, and plastic cooling parts, water pump housings, thermostats, expansion tanks that give up between 50 and 90,000 miles for $400 to $900 a pop. Annoying, not scary. The S55 is a different conversation. The S55 in the competition and CS is the M3 and M4 engine, and you inherited the M3 and M4 conversation. Rod bearings. There's no blanket recall, but track-focused owners preventively replace them between 40 and 60,000 miles as insurance. That job is $1,800 to $3,000 at a good independent. Let it go, and a spun bearing that takes the crank. Or the block with it is a 5-figure repair at a dealer. Listen at cold start. A knock or rattle that fades as oil pressure builds is your warning. Then there's the crank hub, which can slip under high torque. And once you tune past a basic flash, tuners treat an upgraded hub as near mandatory at $1,200 to $2,000 installed. Which leads directly into regret 3. Regret 3. The mod sealing costs more than the mods. An N55 on a JB4, Boot Mod 3, or MHD Stage 1 makes maybe 370 to 420 wheel horsepower. Meaningful, not dramatic. An S55 at Stage 2 with an intercooler, charge pipe, and downpipes will do 450 to 500 plus, which is genuinely fast, but every honest owner will tell you that number requires supporting hardware, the crank hub, and a rod bearing service moved up the calendar. And if you live in California or a carb state, understand this. Almost nothing in the M2 tuning world carries a carb EO number. Catless downpipes and aggressive flashes are not street legal there. Plan around your inspection, or plan on removing parts twice a year. Regret 4 is the honest downside beat. It's a compromise daily. Even competition cars with adaptive M suspension and comfort ride firmer than most commuters, and expansion joints come through clearly. The short wheelbase and staggered performance rubber mean real road noise, plus factory exhaust drone at highway cruise in certain gears. Fuel economy is roughly 20 city, 26 highway on paper, and 18 to 22 combined in the real world. Rear seats are for kids and short trips. The DCT is jerky in parking lots, and the manual clutch is heavy enough to get old and stop and go. If you need one car to do everything and comfort is top of your list, this is not your car. Buy a 330i and be happy. Regret 5 is the one that gets everybody. Tires. The M2 ships on Staggered Michelin PS4S, commonly 245 front and 265 rear on 19s, wider on competition, and CS with the 20s. Brilliant tire, terrible mileage. Spirited street driving, not even track days, kills rears in 8 to 15,000 miles. Each tire is 250 to 350, so a full staggered set mounted and balanced is $1,200 to $1,700. If you buy a used M2 with half-worn tires, that bill is already in the mail. And because factory camber is aggressive, skip alignments, and you'll shred fronts unevenly too. Control arm bushings and end links want attention around 60 to 100,000 miles. This is exactly why so many M2 build threads end up at wheels. If you're already spending $1,500 a set on rubber, you may as well control the fitment. Lighter forged wheels cut unsprung mass on a car that isn't light. Wider rear fitments let you actually use the grip. And if you're going to a big brake kit, you need internal clearance the stock cast wheels don't have. That's where a custom shop like threepiece.us comes in, built to your offsets, your widths, your finish. Be straight about it though. A custom forged set is several $1,000s, and if you're already stretching for the car, buy tires and a rod bearing fund first. Wheels are the reward, not the entry point. Before you buy, do 4 things. 1. Demand full service history, specifically cooling system work, any rod bearing work on S55 cars, and clutch history on manuals, because a clutch is $1,500 to $2,500. 2. Cold start the car yourself and listen. 3. Look for coolant staining around the water pump, thermostat housing, and expansion tank. 4. Get a pre-purchase inspection from an independent who actually knows S55 and N55 quirks, not a generic shop. Red flags, no records at all. Aggressive tuning with no cooling or crank hub upgrades, mismatched tires front to rear, and any seller who hesitates on a PPI. That last one isn't a negotiation. Walk. Here's the verdict. Almost no M2 owner regrets the car. The chassis balance, the near 50-50 weight distribution, the short wheelbase, the manual that now carries a resale premium, all of it holds up against far more expensive machinery. What they regret is the budget. So buy it if you can absorb $2,500 to $4,000 a year on top of the payment. If you have an independent BMW specialist on speed dial, and if you're buying documented history instead of a shiny paint job. Walk away if it's your only car, if the payment is already the ceiling, or if you're eyeing a tuned competition with no supporting hardware. Do it right, and this is the best driver's car in its price bracket. Do it wrong, and it teaches you an expensive lesson. If you're planning wheels, tires, or fitment for yours, threepiece.us will spec it around your setup. Tell me in the comments which M2 you'd buy. N55 manual, competition, or the new G87.